Incoming message.
It was the dawn of the third age of mankind. Groovy.
Hi-ho. This is me, Kermit the Frog.
Hello there.
Moopsy.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Not a great plan.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Let's see what's out there. Engage.
Different roads, same old spark. Talking Trek till the streetlights spark. We're those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT Cammon lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys.
Those Sci-Fi Guys, indeed. We are Those Sci-Fi Guys, and this is the Sci-Fi Guys show. Just two working dudes, different lives, different jobs, with a whole lot of love for science fiction and the fun that comes with. We are your hosts. I am P.S. McKay, and, well, today's the day that I'm going to get corrected yet again. Because that's what happens.
Well, I'm DT Cavman, and it's usually part of my job description to correct you when you're wrong or
It is.
off or
But
you
did not. And so we had to bring an outside consultant in. So without further ado, Mr. Dave from These Sci-Fi Guys. Hello.
Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Please, just throw money.
Okay. Nope. Yeah, maybe. Yay. There we go. The Simpsons. Yay.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much for coming, Dave. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. You mind if I jump in here? I do have a question. All right. I listen to your show all the time, and I love your intro. What's with Kermit the Frog? Why is Kermit the Frog in there? He's not a sci-fi guy.
Kinda is, but that's DT's suggestion. He wanted Kermit the Frog.
Oh, okay.
we did an entire episode on basically on the genius of Jim Henson.
Yes.
Oh,
so,
okay.
and this was
probably
before
way back when.
Yeah, way back.
Probably about 2 years ago.
It was before this intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there you go. And the viewers probably wanted to know. Those of us that haven't watched and listened to all of your stuff yet, I'm getting there. I'm trying to keep. It's hard enough just to keep up with the current stuff.
yes.
So
it really is. It really
Well,
is. That's the thing.
We're down to one a week, so it's a little easier, I think, for absorption. I think, and maybe leave people wanting a little more. Maybe that's where we went wrong at first. Too much content.
Too much content. Yeah, they're like, oh no, not more of these guys. I mean, they're okay in small doses like grenadine. But yeah, I made a grenadine reference
I don't know.
What are you, 85?
tonight. I didn't intend on doing it. Hi guys. Sorry about that.
Hello there.
Yeah. Anyway, did you catch my grenadine reference or no?
Oh, certainly.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we're just going to move on from that one now, shall we?
Moving right along. Wasn't that a song from the Muppets also? Moving right
Correct.
along.
From the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The original.
the movie. See, I grew up on the Muppets though too, and I loved them. I really did, especially when like Mark Hamill and they had Carrie Fisher on there. This is back in the 70s when right after Star Wars got big. They would bring them on and just be doing little. Of course, it was like all these little skit things and stuff, and but it was always so funny whenever the whenever they would get on shows like that. Okay, I do have a story though, if you don't mind. It's a
By all means.
I was a dumb kid. This is how dumb a kid I was. Okay, my mom was watching the forget it was some talk show. This was back in the like late 70s, early 80s. All right, and it was Mike somebody anyway. And so I got all excited. I was like, oh, cool, because they kept saying, they actually said it was Roger Staubach, quarterback, right? As a dumb kid, I heard Starbuck, and I was like, Battlestar Galactica, yes, let's go. And it was some football guy. I was like, oh, really?
Lame. You mean the stories are true?
Yes, they are.
We are the 13th colony. They made it. So,
Was that before or after Starbuck went out with a bunch of Vietnam vets and tried to help all of Los Angeles?
oh, that's an A-Team reference. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. Maybe one of the greatest TV shows to ever come out of the 80s.
I'm gonna
I actually bought all their DVDs, the DVD full set of the whole season.
Same.
In the last year, and I was like, oh, I love them so much.
Yep, certainly.
Yeah. Oh, look at that! He had to find the Muppet sing along.
Moving right along in search of good times and good.
And that's all we can play. That's all we can play. That's all we can play. we got hit with the worst copyright strike during the Wounded, reviewing the Wounded with Deep Space Nine.
No, that would be the next generation, but okay.
Yeah, sorry. I kept thinking of Duet when I said the Wounded, but yes. Somehow we got hit with that copyright strike with Duet as well. Yeah, they just banned the whole video worldwide. Like, we just showed those scenes, and like with O'Brien talking to the Cardassian in 10 Forward, it's not you I hate, Cardassian. It's
I love that episode.
That was of you. Yeah.
Because and I'll be honest, I don't watch you guys on YouTube because I don't have time to sit
so
there
you heard it then.
But I heard it. All that was fine on Spotify.
Through Spotify,
it was Google, it was Google Podcast, not Google. Apple Podcasts is what I actually listened to it on.
Yeah.
But they had no problem with it whatsoever. So,
no,
everything
none.
went through.
YouTube was the only one that hit us. Like, Rumble was fine, Spotify was fine. Like, you could play a whole bunch of stuff on just Apple, like, which is where we got started. So, but moving right along. All right. So what brings us here today, everybody?
Well, last time on Those Sci-Fi Guys, we discussed replacement characters, and we ran a gambit. You did some Stargate. We talked some Star Trek. We veered into B5, and we ran out of time.
Yeah,
because there were plenty of others that we still haven't gotten to, and to help us carry this load, we invited our good friend Dave to help us out here. Also help us diversify the brands a little too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a couple of them that are probably out that you guys either may have never seen, or if you did, you're just like, oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
I'm always open for an education. So
everybody
I do want to question
80.
That is on my list.
Nice.
Good one. He got it.
What was your question?
But yeah, I mean, if you want to start there, we can start there, or if you want to start whatever,
No, why don't you start there? I wondered if that was in your mind when you mentioned.
Well, yeah, that was. I mean, because okay, so the original Battlestar Galactica came out in '78, and it did a 13-run series. That's it. Wasn't a lot. The main two actors were Starbuck and Apollo, which was Dirk Benedict and Richard Hatch. They were basically the two main characters, besides the Commander Dama, who was I can't even remember who
Lauren Green.
Lauren Green, thank you. And so they were like the main three, and then you had a lot of the sub characters and all that. Well, the main reason that the original show went off the air was because of money.
Space battles
it
are
just
expensive.
it costs too much to for each episode. And it's funny, if you watch any of the episodes, you will see they recycle a ton of the space scenes.
Oh yeah, the joystick
constantly.
with the
with
the
the turbo
Cylons
and then all that, and then it's quite humorous. I mean, if you actually look at a lot of this stuff. Well, 1980 was, they were like, okay, well, we've got to get to Earth. We've got to have this thing and get to Earth. So they decided to come up in 1980 with Galactica 1980, where basically they show up at Earth and they realize, oops, Earth is not ready for the Cylons. They have no ships, no anything. They have these goofy motorcycles that can fly and stuff like that. Well, there are two characters that you can see on the picture there. I don't know who they are. I knew one of them. I think the guy in the black hair. He was in Emergency, if I recall.
Yeah, that's Kent McCord on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Dirk Benedict and Richard Hatch, the original Starbuck and Apollo, said, no, we're not. This is low budget. This is not going to be good. We're not going to do this. Until the very last episode, and Starbuck does return in the last one. So, because too many people were asking, well, where's Starbuck and Apollo? What's going on with them? And Starbuck
Where
did
was he
come
hanging
back
out at the back of the ship or something.
No, actually, he had crashed on another planet, and then a Cylon helped him. They become friends and blah blah. So that actually had a good story. That was the only episode in that entire franchise that has a good story. But it kind of reminds me of when what is it? Vance and the other guy that replaced Bo and Luke Duke on Dukes of Hazzard. That's kind of what Galactica 1980 did. It was just. It wasn't good at all. Yeah. I mean, it was low budget. It was not great acting. And then they got rid of the entire cast except for Lauren Green. He was the only one that stayed. And then, of course, now he's got the full beard and all that. So it had to be a little different, But, that was you were talking about replacement actors. They tried to fill that Starbuck and Apollo role with these two, and it just fell. Crash and burn.
I just hit the Google. They're Troy and Dylan.
Yeah, thank you.
Those would totally be names nowadays.
Yeah, but
perhaps the same person. Dylan Troy or Troy Dylan.
It's funny, but it's funny. Like, man, this is. Like literally, this is like the knockoff of the knockoff.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
This is what happens when you Xerox and Xerox too many times.
I had no idea this show existed until I was out of college and I started getting into the Roger D. Moore Battlestar Galactica on Sci-Fi Channel, and they started bringing up a little bit of the history.
You're confusing him with James.
Did I say Roger? I said wow. I meant Ronald. Wow. It's been a day, guys. Oh boy. So no, but like they started bringing out a couple the Sci-Fi Channel website back in the day when the websites actually mattered. They would upload some videos of like classic BSG and stuff, and then they showed this, and I'm sitting. This is like 2006. I'm like, wait, they did a 1980 version of this show, and I'm looking at it and I'm seeing the motorcycles with the Sphinx helmets, and I'm like,
yep,
oh, that looks awful. Well,
the reboot was good though. The reboot was good until the last couple of episodes. It was a really good show. Those last couple of ones just kind of
they pulled a J.J. Abrams on themselves before J.J. Abrams was doing J.J. Abrams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like little too many mystery boxes they had to fill in.
But it's funny. They actually did have an example of a replacement character in that as well. In that reboot.
Katie Sackhoff?
No. I'm talking about once within that series. You had the president's assistant Billy, who was hooking up with Duala, right?
Right.
He gets killed, in like season 2, I think, and he gets replaced with Tori, who's actually one of the final Cylons. So you end up,
yeah.
So you do get a replacement character. They didn't replace Starbuck when they killed the character. She just miraculously reappeared because she likes classic
because
rock.
she was an angel, or whatever.
No, why did they
were trying to make her?
When the production or the writers have to tell the public what Starbuck was after the finale aired, in order to make it make sense, you didn't write well.
Yeah. I mean, didn't she actually leave so she could go do, what was it, that Wonder Woman pilot or Bionic Woman or something like that? It was like another show reboot.
Oh, I don't know. It's possible. I mean, they were doing Wonder Woman at the same time with Pilecki, whatever, Adrian Pilecki.
Adrian Pilecki, yeah.
Yeah. And then there was, they did do a Bionic Woman. That didn't last very long. I think it lasted longer. Maybe it lasted a couple seasons. Now I got to look it up.
I think it lasted one season.
Yeah.
I remember in LA.
The original one with Jamie Summers and all that. You're talking my generation. I grew up with the Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man, Steve Austin, and how each of them got their bionic parts and all that. And it's such a fun. Yeah, that's definitely
2007.
The
reboot. This was on metro bus sides and stuff all over Los Angeles, draped on the sides of buildings and things. Marketing in Los Angeles is like pretty crazy when it comes to just not movies, but TV shows and stuff. It's bleh. They put posters on trash cans. It's
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, and like on the beach and stuff. Yeah. I mean, when I first saw that, I'm like, when I first went out to LA, because I'm from the Northeast, for college orientation, I was out in Santa Monica and I saw posters of Coyote Ugly wrapped around the trash cans on the beach. Like, wow. That was advertising space. So I'm like, wow, they're maximizing it all. So there they are. Side note, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Battlestar had, they kind of had a roving band of characters. You had some characters start to become more prominent later in the series.
Oh, here she is in Bionic Woman, right? Is that her?
Yep.
Is that Katie?
Yep.
I believe she was the main antagonist.
Okay. So that's why she left. I did not know that. I had no idea until right now, guys.
I think it coincided with that.
It totally did, because this is in 2007. And that was when she disappeared. And
yeah, like I redeployed from Iraq and Starbuck dies. I'm like, God damn, that's half the reason I wanted to watch the show in the first place. Starbuck was cool.
Starbuck was cool, but I didn't find her feminine. I found her very masculine, which
that was
not point. I know it was the point, and it's not a knock, but I don't know, whatever.
I remember when it first came out that the fans of the original series hated her because they were like, no, Starbuck is a guy, it's not a girl, blah, blah, blah. But then you could start to see she started picking up some of Dirk Benedict's some of his mannerisms, like smoking the cigars and just the way I think she went back and watched all 13 episodes, and it's like picking up a lot of his mannerisms. And then she kind of picked up and started moving and acting a lot more like he did.
There was a picture I saw of the two of them together smoking cigars.
Yeah.
The funny thing was, yes, you're right. There was a lot of pushback against her being cast as Starbuck. And it's funny because that was like right at the beginning when they started doing the gender swaps of characters. But I remember that if you call it outrage, I would say it was a disgruntlement. But if, that outrage didn't last very long. Like after that mini series aired, everyone was like, "I'm in, I'm bought in."
Yeah.
And then Richard Hatch,
they let the writing do it.
Joined the show later on, and then became president, whatever, or ran as the president, or I forget exactly what it, off the top of my head.
He ran as Baltar's vice president, I believe.
Yes.
And then when New Caprica, when they all got back onto the ships, he asked to, he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to push this. Laura can take president again. I just want to be involved." So like he became the vice president until the coup at the end of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked his character after the humbling of New Caprica a lot.
Yeah, where he actually wasn't the dirtbag.
Yeah. Well, he never really was a bad guy. He just was a wrench in the cogworks, You disagree?
Yeah.
You can disagree. Feel free to disagree.
Well,
he was an anarchist, wasn't he originally an anarchist?
That's what I thought. I thought he was always just trying to mess everything up the whole time, and which was the complete polar opposite of what Apollo was. Apollo was, button up, "Oh, I'm doing everything right. I'm wonderful. Daddy loves me, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And just seeing Richard Hatch do such a polar opposite role in the same series is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Even though it's a reboot, but it was still pretty neat.
Yeah. No, it was
such a baby face in this picture.
Yeah.
See, that was the most masculine one I could find. Let me find another one.
She is like 6 months older than I am. And we met her at a Comic-Con, my daughter and I. She was so nice to my kid. It was great.
I hear she's wonderful. I mean,
oh yeah,
she's got a great online social media presence, by the way.
And then being in the Star Wars universe too, being Bo-Katan, she's really big, and talking to constantly at cons and talking to people and stuff. She's really, and I think she's got a huge X or Twitter following.
She does.
Her
Facebook is really popular. I guess her and her husband are doing a full rewatch of the series of Battlestar. Like she said, she never watched it all the way through. She'd see the dailies and stuff like that, whatnot. But like they're doing a full watch together, and some of the reactions are hysterical.
I just wanted to show this because
nice.
I forgot this scene. I've only done one watch through of Battlestar. I've seen several episodes multiple times, but yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It really was a good show. Really was.
Yeah.
I like the fact
that
they didn't make
a couple
everything
years to get into it.
Yeah, I like the fact that they didn't make everything laser pew 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 pew. They used real bullets and they were using weapons of mass destruction. I won't say the word.
Kinetic energy, and you didn't hear things.
Yeah. I just thought it was very convenient that 3 or 4 of the human-looking Cylons were all on the Battlestar Galactica, which was getting ready to be retired. I just was like, that's a little too convenient,
They had a plan, Dave. They had a plan.
And they knew that the Galactica was gonna survive. No, they did not. If they would have had a plan, they would have waited till it was retired then. I mean,
they had a whole TV movie of the plan, which didn't explain any of what you're bringing up at all, but they had a plan.
Okay, Mac, you're a writer. You are a writer.
Yeah.
You tell me, was that good writing? Thank you. It was not good writing.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was plot armor. The plot got a plot. So,
well, it happens every now and then. It happens.
I want to, if you don't mind, DT, can I bring up, I'd like to redeem myself from the last episode, if that's plausible.
Sure.
In front of Dave's eyes.
Are we gonna, are you gonna bring up a replacement character that we?
Oh boy, am I! Here we go.
Okay.
Jonas Quinn.
Jonas Quinn and Daniel Jackson. This is the best picture I could find. The lighting is terrible.
The dude on the left looks even geekier than the dude on the right.
He was super smart. And long and short of it, at the end of season 5, SG-1 came across this planet that kind of was like 1950s, 40s, planet, but they came across this energy ore called Naquadria, which was much more powerful than Naquada. Yeah. A quadria, or is it Naquadria?
It was Naquadria.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I think Daniel or Sam goes, "Oh, you mean Naquada?" And Jonas looks at the inscription and he goes, "No, this is Naquadria." It was used as the basis for, they were able to procure some of it to use to power the USS Prometheus, the Prometheus, the prototype spaceship for the Air Force. And then but they met Jonas Quinn. This is when we got introduced to him, and he was a very affable person, very smart, very charming, played by Jason Nemec. Is it Jason Nemec?
No, Colin
Nemec. Yeah, thank you. I'm terrible with names. It's very clear.
Your computer.
No, because I this is a download photo. It's not pulled from my.
Actually, it's Corin Nemec.
Corin Nemec. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Wait, that's the character's name or the actor's name?
That's his real name. His character name was Jonas Quinn. Yeah, but his real name is Corin Nemec.
His alien name was more human than his real human name. Anyway,
okay.
At the end of season 5, what's his name? Jackson was the guy, Peter Shanks.
Michael Shanks.
Michael Shanks wanted out. He was tired. Shooting 26 episodes a season in Vancouver is tiring, and I get it.
Yeah. What I read is that he was afraid that he was going to be typecast as a Daniel Jackson person from then on.
Yeah.
So that's why he wanted to get out.
This is before they realized that being typecast was bread and butter.
Yeah. Has he done a whole lot since?
He's been in a few things. He was in the movie Red Riding Hood with Amanda Seyfried. And he was in a few Hallmark movies. He played a veteran that came home injured. It was a Christmas movie.
Here's your sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you go to the Hallmark Channel, there you go.
Yeah, there's your sign.
Although, you do know that through season 6, when he was gone, he still was there.
Yeah, he was around
because he was the voice of Thor.
Yep, he played the voice of Thor, so he would come in, do some voice work. He was never really gone. He came, he guested in 2 or 3 episodes. He came back for the season finale and whatnot. Jonas came in and took his place on SG-1, and he was perfectly fine and serviceable. And I liked him, but I remember when I found out that they replaced him. This was during college, and TV watching is very abrupt. You can't, because of your schedule, it's hard to watch TV on a regular basis. Sure. So I was in Barnes and Noble in Pasadena, and I pulled up a Stargate magazine, and I read, well, ever since Daniel Jackson evolved to a higher plane of existence, Jonas Quinn came in and took over the position. I'm like, they replaced Daniel Jackson? That's how I found out about that. In a Barnes and Noble in Pasadena. I was pretty upset by that.
And if you thought Daniel Jackson was a nerd, wait till you meet Jonas Quinn.
Oh man, yeah, it's very good. I liked him a lot. And then they brought. I don't know if it was. Do you know if it was due to fan reaction or just Michael Shanks was like, you know what, I'll come back.
The fans were like, "Why'd you get rid of Daniel Jackson? Why'd you get rid of it?" And I guess Shanks also decided, you know what, I like the money,
Not making any money.
I'm going to stay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he came back.
And then they basically just wrote off Quinn. They just kind of wrote him out. They didn't.
They did.
You know, really. I mean, I think did he get killed off?
No, he had a cameo about halfway through season 7 or 3/4 of the way through when he was back on his home world and he had long hair at that point. And then,
there was also some issues with
the mic
with Shanks and MGM. There was some issues with MGM and Shanks. That's why he left. Also.
Oh, was it a paid dispute?
Well, he left because MGM wanted to do some things, and he was like, "I'm not done. I'm not ready." But I think that they were, obviously he wanted his character to evolve and do something different instead of just being the same thing. So,
right. Well, they literally had him evolve. So,
yeah, literally.
And then he comes back, and we get a great shot of him naked, in the fetal position in the beginning of season 7, which. My feelings about that. And then Michael Shanks brought it up. He's like, the crew never let me hear the end of that once we did that filming. So,
Yeah.
And then they had Don Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson, guest star in season 7. Dave.
Dan Castellaneta.
Yep.
Yeah, I said Dan.
No, you said Don.
No, you're gaslighting me, Dan.
No, you said Don because I was thinking you were talking about Don, the guy that played
Don S. Davis.
Don S. Davis is what I thought you were going to say. So you did say Don. I'm just
wow.
Sorry.
Wow. Someone's going to have to take the reins in a few minutes. I got to say.
Yeah, because it feels like you don't have one hand on the steering wheel, but
I really don't. It's like, that's a crazy thing. Last point about this whole Jonas Quinn thing. They brought on the voice of Homer Simpson to guest star for one episode, and he came across this stone. It was an Asgard stone. Was it Asgard or ancient? Whatever. It allowed him to be able to.
I think it was ancient.
It was ancient, and allowed him to be able to experience what the SG-1 team was experiencing, because they had a stone as well, and that stone was a way of communicating between bodies, but they had no idea what that was for. So he found the stone at the beginning of SG-1 in this 7th season episode, and then we watch him watch. It's like a kind of like a clip show, but in a very interesting way. Like over the years, he starts becoming more and more obsessed with SG-1. And then at the end of season 5, when Daniel Jackson dies, he's like crying, he's bawling, and then he's able to get to SG-1 or the SGC, and he even calls it out. Like they do a meta joke where he meets Daniel Jackson, and he goes, "Oh, Dr. Jackson, I'm so glad you're back. I mean, the person, Jonas Quinn, who replaced you, he was fine. He was a good guy. I liked him, but it's you." Like, that was a good joke. That was, that's an example of taking yourself seriously in the writing, but not too seriously in existence.
Yeah,
which I like. Self-effacing, so so to speak. So, anything else about that? Dave?
Well, since you're on Stargate SG-1, would you consider the episode Wormhole Extreme as replacements, when they basically, this guy that he were just talking about,
let me find it,
ended up writing a screenplay about the Stargate program?
It wasn't him.
TV.
No,
I think it's the same
it was
guy.
the alien. No. It Dan was on that episode. Was only in one episode, but the guy with the glasses that was bald, he was an alien. Not Dan Castellaneta. Wormhole Extreme.
Yeah, but still, they did Wormhole Extreme. They basically made this low budget TV show, and O'Neill had to be on the show to say, "Yeah, that's wrong. That's wrong. No, this is wrong. That's wrong." Just kind of giving him a military feel. And of course, they were like, "Well, this is perfect because it's a stupid show." And if the Stargate ever did come out that it really was real, that they were like, "No, Wormhole Extreme is what happened."
This is how we can say it. Yeah. Let me see if Wormhole Extreme, because we can show this. This will be fine. Because they do
Extreme.
Oh, it's of all the episodes. There's a few that you have to watch. That is one of the funniest ones.
Okay, I'll show. Okay, so so they did 200 as well.
I knew we were going to get bogged down in Stargate once you came up.
Of course, it had to happen because I never talk about it. I never talk about it. Share this tab instead. Here we go. Add to stage.
I'm Christian Boucher. I'm portraying the character of Raymond Gunn, who portrays the character of Dr. Levant, which is based on the character Daniel Jackson, portrayed by the actor
Raymond Gunn.
Portrayed by the actor James Spader.
They just go on and on and on with them.
Look out!
Your teeth, the space, personal space. Right. Okay.
He's a producer on the show.
The Deloise.
Yeah, one of the Deloises.
He replaced Colonel O'Neill.
And then when he goes back, he's like, "Wait a minute, it doesn't say anything."
Yeah.
Did anyone ever think of that? It's just a figure of speech.
And there's his brother.
Yeah, there's his brother.
Because I'm not seeing Colonel on my uniform.
Anyway, I'm nervous about the copyright strike, but
we're getting lag, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you're getting lag. I'm sorry.
Can I jump in with a new one then? Since you just showed one of the Deloises. There was a show. Let me see. Can I put a picture up here?
Yeah.
Let me show you image file of downloads. Okay. Sequest DSV.
This is DT's bread and butter right here.
I love this show, man. This was a great show.
This was a great show in the first season. First season was fantastic. You can see here is the cast of the first season, right? Everything worked together. I mean, it was what did I read about it? It was hold on, I got it.
It was underwater Star Trek meets
basically it was it was an underwater. The whole thing was the season 1 was focused on plausible oceanography research and environmentalism, right? So you have Nathan Bridger, which was the captain. He's the guy in the middle.
Roy Scheider. You're gonna need a bigger
Roy
boat.
Scheider, and there'll be more about him later. Let me pop up now and give you season 2, just so you can kind of see the difference in cast. So you can see it was a much smaller cast, and then wow, you notice something. Everyone is much younger.
Yeah. Let's go back. Okay, so we got this guy.
So you have one teenager, the guy on the guy with the hair. He was a teenager.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yep. Yeah, the Wesley Crusher, and then
he talks to dolphins.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Darwin, if I remember right, was the dolphin's name. Yeah.
I enjoyed
great
Darwin.
Show. Season 2, however, they shifted in what they were starting to do. It was more of a space opera and monster of the week kind of season is how it ended up being. And Schreider hated it. He was like, "Get me out of this. I don't like it. This is not what I wanted the show." But when I said that, if you'll look at the guy with the looks like camouflage on his face, the third from the left,
that's
is
Dagwood.
the DeLuise brothers. That's Dagwood, but he's one of the DeLuise brothers. The one you
the other
just
one's
saw
on the left.
Yep, the other one's all the way on the left,
and the other one is on the left. So both of them,
and he has gills, genetically engineered to breathe underwater.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, these two guys are responsible for show running's SG-1.
Right.
Like, and it makes sense because they have their roots in this show, which had a very plausible scientific premise, and then they went super sci-fi.
Then they went super sci-fi, which actually I just put it up there. Season 3.
Oh, here we go.
If you want to pop that one up there. Then
Michael Ironside
shifted again because Schreider did not want to be in it. You have Michael Ironside, which was more of a military based, the end of season 2, the Sequest disappeared. Aliens took it away, basically, is what happened. They took it to
fight a war on their own planet,
fight a war
like that.
And then now the Sequest is coming back, and then this is the crew. You'll still see Dagwood, you'll still see both DeLuise brothers, but now they're like, okay, we need to make the crew smaller because it got too big, it got too expensive, and it just became darker, serialized military sci-fi, and in international politics was a big thing on it. So
on its own, it wasn't a bad idea. It was probably just a little early.
It was.
They really
because it was
all the
90
sci-fi stuff too.
97,
94, 95.
94. Yeah, it was early 90s. The sets were great. Again, I love the first season, and part of season 2 was really good, and then it just kind of got. It just kind of got like I said, it got dark. Then they got where they wanted aliens and all this because they were like, let's make it sci-fi as much as possible.
Yeah, season 2 got real campy, and then season 3 got dark. Like it's like 3 different shows almost. The uniforms changed. Like they even skipped. This season was 10 years in the future.
2032.
Right. Yeah, it was 2032.
They rebranded it.
Instead of DSV, they rebranded it Sequest 2032.
Yeah. I remember being in Applebee's watching, they aired the season finale of the first season of Sequest at the bar. And I'm sitting there with my family looking over to the left, and I'm seeing the destruction of the Sequest with the lava around it or something. Like
they dropped it into a fissure in the seafloor.
Yeah.
Hoping that the explosion of the engines would help seal the rift in the show. Dave, I bought the first season on DVD. I did a rewatch on some deployments.
Good show. Really was a good show, and you were just, the whole point of this was replacements. And I was just, first thing that came to my mind was, when Michael Ironside basically took over for Roy Schreider, Nathan Bridger, ended up being, what was his name? Is Captain Hudson. That's right.
Oliver Hudson.
Yeah. So how much of a change it was in focus, in, even camera work. Everything was so different in this third season, but
the lighting is completely different too.
Series.
Yeah. It was
oh yeah, she had ESP or something. She could read minds or something. If I remember.
No, that was the doctor in the previous season.
In the second season.
The one
on the left here.
Yeah, the one on the left.
Yeah.
Again, it's been years. I mean, I've got all 3 seasons. I just haven't rewatched them in forever.
I really liked the show. I gave season 2 and then even season 3 a shot, and season 3 was more grounded than season 2 was, but it was dark, like international intrigue. They killed characters. I mean, it was kind of wild. Like Roy Scheider he like trashed the show like in the off season, but he was like contractually he had to like show up in like several episodes because he was like to fulfill his contract without being sued. So he showed up in like 2 or 3 episodes. But it was interesting.
Changing of the guard, basically, of here you go, here's the command is yours now. Promote him to an admiral and get him out of there.
Yeah, it was season 1 was, very much in the whole Earth Day environmentalist, along with hard sci-fi, including having bumper at the end of every episode with some scientific fact by Dr. Bob Ballard from the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute up here in Massachusetts. So they ditched that in season 2.
Yeah, they did,
because they started ditching real science.
I always loved that part of the show. I always thought that was interesting to actually like, okay, you're learning something from watching this show, not just okay, it's another mind-numbing show to be out there.
Well, not only that, those bumpers at the end made you realize, oh, this is very plausible in the near future for us.
Which, by the way, it's now like 8 years behind us.
Yeah. And where's the UEO?
Submarine like that.
Still no colonies living under the ocean. But it seems plausible 25 years in the future.
Actually, with the latest developments, there may be colonies under the ocean, but they're not human.
Fair enough.
Hey, Bob Lazar said that the spaceship that he found that the U.S. found at Area 50, that's at Area 51, was an underwater archaeological discovery.
Okie dokie.
Just saying.
Well, needless to say, the best season of Sequest outside of season 1 was Octonauts.
Oh, geez. Dave, do you even know what that is? You have grandchildren, but that's even like 10 years ago, maybe 15.
I don't know that.
No.
It was way better than seasons 2 and 3. I can promise you that. My kid loved Octonauts.
Okay, hold on. I'll pull it up. It's my son had the whole set, like with the.
My kid did too. The octopod and all those.
Let's do.
We're busy trying to get my nephew into it on Netflix.
Oh, are you? Can I share this? Here we go.
I'm sure you can. Are you able to?
No, because the pictures won't let me.
Oh, there you go.
All up to know. Quasi, hey, sir. Inkling. Wait.
Turnip. I forgot about this.
Activate creature report.
You gotta pause it, dude. We're gonna get whacked.
Yeah, 15 seconds is okay. 15 seconds is okay.
Okay.
But this is the end of the episode where whatever animal that they helped out, they talk about. Look, see, they're clearly the whale shark.
Yeah,
that's a whale shark. And they give you the real facts about the whale shark, and then they give you a little live look at what a real whale shark looks like.
I'm sure this is deeply fascinating for you, Dave.
Well, I always got to look for stuff for my grandson just to see if it's.
This one was actually fun.
This
it wasn't
is super
annoying.
appropriate. If you don't need to worry about anything in this show.
I'm looking at my stuff because I got some kids shows on here too, so that's why I'm just I just typed in OCT to see, but no, I don't have anything like that on my in my database.
Fair enough.
No, it was on Netflix. Anyway, there it is. Yeah,
one of the few streaming services I don't have. I don't have Netflix. Don't have it. So
you're fine. Actually, I'm jealous that you don't have it. I just
hey man. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to do one of our better videos in the last few weeks. War Machine.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
I did.
Although, every time I heard you guys say that, I was like, Where's War
Rhodey?
Machine? I was thinking War
Yeah.
Machine from Iron Man. I was like,
I know. No.
But it was also that movie from Netflix from like 8 years ago that was about it was the Brad Pitt, Stanley McChrystal in Afghanistan satire.
mm-hmm.
It is what it is. It was
Yeah.
fun. I'd like to
Yeah, your turn, DT.
so I have one, we kind of mentioned it offline. We didn't really talk about it. Back on B5, when they had, we talked about trapdoors, we talked about replacements of Lita with Talia, with Lita. Then we replaced Ditch and the fighter pilot for Marcus. But, the second biggest, I think, character replacement really was replacement of Ivanova with Captain Lockley at the end of season 4. There was like a dispute between Claudia Christensen and I think either the producers, I can't remember if it was with JMS or not, but they brought in Lockley, who takes over as captain of B5 while Sheridan is acting as the president of the new Interstellar Alliance. I thought Tracy Scoggins did a pretty good job, to be honest with you. She was no bullshit. She was tough, but she had a decent sense of humor, and she had some command presence. I'm not saying Ivanova didn't, but she was definitely had some different, tacks. Wasn't quite as bitingly sarcastic as Ivanova could be.
Right, because she was so sarcastic.
Super sarcastic. Loved that about her. Luckily, had a good, she had a sharp wit too, but it wasn't the default that it was for Ivanova. While I do feel that there's plenty of episodes of B5 season 5, like some of the storylines were wonky, I thought she was one of the best parts of the season. I liked her as a character so much that they kept her. There she is.
Is that her really?
Yep.
That's funny.
They kept her when they spun off Crusade, and she showed up in several episodes of Crusade, and she was in one of the 2 Lost Tales that they were hoping to make several of, that they only managed to make 2 of. So clearly they liked her enough. She received enough credit, and I think she actually voiced herself in the B5 movie. Is it The Long Road Home or something like that came out
That's the new
2 years ago?
Yeah. I have not watched it yet. So
I did. It wasn't bad. The downside is how many of these actors are actually dead. And,
that's the killer.
And a lot of them young too, or younger, so that you miss the voice.
Yeah, I just thought that when they brought Lockley, and then they did that whole, this was Sheridan's ex-wife. I just thought that was kind of like, okay, really?
Right,
I thought
third wife, third ex-wife.
It's his first wife.
It was his first wife.
I know, but sorry, third wife
still,
was
it was like, did you really need to put that in there?
They made a joke later in the series. How many? Yeah, they got married right out of the academy, that sort of thing. Both career oriented, didn't last long. But somebody made a joke later on in the season, like, how many wives does this guy have?
Oh, good. Well, there's that at least.
Yeah.
They ripped it a little in Crusade,
and
too.
then it was
Anna.
his wife, the Anna. That's right, with who's played by 2 different actresses.
Yeah, so he's had 4 wives.
Well, 3
one, of
played
course,
by
was
4
his,
different women.
Well, it was, one of which was Bruce Boxleitner's at the time real life wife, Melissa Gilbert. So she definitely didn't look like she was in Little House on the Prairie.
No,
unless the shadows were running it out there in the prairie. Who knows? That being said, as far as a replacement character goes, I actually thought Lockley was a fairly solid one. I liked her personality. Thought she was not an Ivanova duplicate, which was good. And had the ability to talk to Sheridan in a way that there was enough familiarity, but they hadn't had a super close relationship in so long that she was able to say things to him that other people couldn't.
Right. Yeah, because they were afraid, because they were like, oh, yeah, because such and such, Well, he is the president of the Federation. I mean,
yeah, it was. And he came back in the Orville as the president of the Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was completely unrecognizable, in my opinion, but whatever.
Yeah,
I didn't
that
recognize
voice did stand out. I recognize that voice. I was hoping he was going to tell.
If you grew up on Tron, you know the voice.
And that's the funny thing when you think about it. He and Peter Jurassic, who plays Londo, are in Tron together, like 15 years before they were in B5 together. That must have been an interesting trip.
Oh yeah, I mean, but they're only on screen together for. Well, I mean, it was like 2 minutes. He's like, "You're not gonna take me out," and then he ends up trying to save him and doesn't. But yeah,
still, it's kind of neat.
That's a great picture of her, by the way, as when she was with Zahadum.
Yep. Yeah, with
that was a
star coming at her.
It's such a, and I'll give her this. Like, some people can overact. Like, that one was actually like, you could feel that one. You're like, oh, that's genuine terror right there.
Yeah, that was good. I know we're gonna deviate just a slight bit. I really liked the story about her being taken by the shadows, and then she became a ship of the shadows, and then they took her out of the ship because they realized her importance to Sheridan, but she wasn't quite the same, and I just liked that. I really liked that a lot. Stuff of nightmares. So,
well, the shadows were the stuff of nightmares when you think about it.
Oh yeah. That first episode when we learned about spiders scary.
that manipulate and just conquer. It's terrifying.
When we see that giant space spider in the jail cell or the brig, real quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, stop! What'd you see? Nothing, just shadows. It was well done. That was good writing right there.
It was very good. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed. I just sent DT a book, and I want him to send it on to Mack later on. It's JMS's autobiography, where he goes through and he talks about how he did Babylon 5 and all the things he had to do to set it up. Because he was also a co-writer of He-Man and She-Ra and of several different things. And it's funny how Babylon 5 is so religious, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
And he is not at all.
It's funny too, because he doesn't shit on religion the same way Star Trek did for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the episode during I think it was season 3 where all the various religious leaders come to B5 and they hold a revival, which is very interesting.
Wasn't that
especially watching
1?
people?
I think
the episode I'm talking about is in season 3.
Oh, okay.
It's juxtaposed with Jakar and some Narns giving revenge on some of the Centauri.
And then if I remember right, at the very end, it had all of them lined up, and then this is a Buddhist, and this is this guy, and this is this guy, and this is what he believes, and this is what he believes, and this is what he, it just kind of went on and on and on.
Well, they had the monks who were helping them out on B5,
right?
For room and board. They're like, "We'll do whatever you want."
That, I thought that was something that they should have kept more of, and they kind of they started it. Oh, the monks are here, and then they just kind of went away.
They would show up every couple episodes in like seasons 3 and 4, but you don't really see them after that. Still brought some interesting things because their mission was to know the face of God, and just because, and they feel that they need to interact with other alien races to understand. They believe it's all one, but they kind of want to learn the other stories and creation stories and whatnot. It was very enlightened and very noble. And then you have the like your Baptist minister, you have the Catholic monk, you have the imam, you have the rabbi. It was basically starting to sound like a joke after in that one episode, but B5 did a lot better with religion than I expected.
Yeah, because Ivanova was Jewish, and they really, and when you get to the book, you'll understand why. I'll just tell you that. I don't want to spoil it. Just
okay.
Why he made her Jewish. So, it's very enlightening. Very. Mac, what's yours? What's yours? Are you?
I was looking for that episode in season 3 that DT was talking about. I can't find it. I'm like, I swear. I mean, they all lined up at the end. I could have sworn that was like in season 1.
No, it's either season 3 or it's early season 4.
Well, because season 1 had Sinclair, and I know it wasn't Sinclair. It was Sheridan for sure. So it may have been season 2. But
it wasn't season 2. They were in the black uniforms. They had broken away from Earth by that time.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah.
We're all gonna find this later.
I do a periodic rewatch of Babylon 5 every couple of years.
And we've played trivia enough to know that don't go against DT when it comes to trivia.
Him. Yeah, we get it.
Look, I'm not infallible, folks. That's something that B5 is one I really do like going back to every now and then.
We get it. You put your pants on one leg at a time, except when you do it, you win trivia games. I get it. I get it.
Was going to say make gold records, but yeah.
Yeah, that's why. So,
hey, look, there are some things that are very enjoyable, and one of the things for me that is most enjoyable is getting a chance to compare nerd knowledge with my friends, which is, well, you two are clearly part of that. So,
yeah, you're that hard up. You have to talk to 2 people on complete opposite corners of the country, huh?
I'm closer to him than you are right now, but
you are. So,
you guys.
Dave, why don't you throw out your next one here? I'm sure you've got a list here. I want you to have the opportunity.
I really this is probably the last big one that I thought of.
I gotta be honest, I don't have any left. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So
I've got one that's going to be very controversial, but I'm putting the name of the episode that we just discussed into the chat.
We have a chat. There's a chat, everybody. Yes. And The Rock cried out, "No hiding place." What the frack?
Go on with it.
Anyway, dude, what's your thing, man?
All right. I put 2 pictures in there that Mac will have to put up. At least one of them. Space 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if this one was going to make an appearance.
Yeah, this was season 1. All right. It actually had a bigger cast than this. Everything was much brighter. The storylines were better. Again, season 2, they end up going to that whole Monster of the Week thing. I mean, it seems like a lot of sci-fi shows decide to do that. Alien of the Week, Monster of the Week. They really didn't. I think Babylon 5 did it best when they first started doing serialized shows. I know Babylon 5 was one of the first that wanted where you had to see the episode before to understand what happened in the next episode, et cetera, down the road. And season 1 of Space 1999, you had the two main characters, Barbara Bain and what was his name? Golly, I can't think of his name. Martin Landau. Thank you. Knew what it was. They were the two stars of the show. Then you had Robert, the guy that's sitting down on the ground. I can't think of his name. Barry Morse. That's what it was.
In the red or on the left?
He is on the left, not the red.
Okay.
He's on the left. So basically, everyone besides the two in the middle, only the one guy that's kind of squatting down behind Barbara Bain is the only one that comes on for the next season. Everybody else is gone.
Oh, really?
Because he might have the second best sideburns on the crew.
Yeah. They replaced all of them because they wanted to go with a different thing. The first season, if you guys don't know anything about the show, the show is basically it's the year 1999. Obviously, it's way past that in real time, but
we
all
partied
of Earth,
like that.
Earth kept all of their nuclear waste up on the moon, and during one point while they were up there, they were flying around and checking the containments and everything. There was some kind of static electricity or something that basically blew all of the nuclear stuff at once, and it ripped the moon out of Earth's orbit, and it just sent it hurtling through space. So that's it. Basically, each episode was as they came up to a new planet, they went there to try to get some supplies, meet people, and then fly back to Moonbase Alpha before the Earth passed. So the premise was there in the first season. If you want to go to the next picture I put up there, Mac, season,
Gotcha.
It's the one since season 2. All right. They went with a much smaller cast. All right. They added the guy with the blue jacket, and then Maya. She's the one sitting down at the on the computer. Maya was a shapeshifter. She they would kind of you would see an animal in her eye, and then she would turn into that animal, which could be a tiger, it could be a bear, it could be whatever. But that was the big thing was she was the major character that was in there. And then they also added, let me try to remember his name. The new guy, I cannot think of his name. Let me see. New additions. His name, his actor, his name was Tony Anholt, and then he became Tony on the show.
So, why not?
Original writing.
So yeah, Tony, and then the other guy behind him, Alan. That's the guy behind him. They were like the two pilots of the Eagles mostly. So there was a lot more action adventure stuff. Martin Landau and Barbara Bain, of course, were still the main two characters. And when they did the show originally, they did not like that. They didn't want them in there. But because they were such big stars in Mission Impossible, both of them were, and how well they worked together, they were like, if you're going to be putting this in America, you need to have these big name actors on the show. So, and again, just like State Sequest, it got a lot darker. The big control room, which was huge, now became really small, really dark.
Yeah, not a fan of
Barry Morse, who was the professor originally, they wanted him to take a 33% pay cut, and he just said, "Nope, I'm out of here." And they wanted to get younger. That was the big thing. They wanted, if you'll notice, again, it's another one. You'll see it's a little bit older cast. Barry makes it look much older, and then they had a mass culling, is what they called it. And here's the funny thing. I want to know if you know this name. Okay, so when they went from season 1 to season 2, they had a new producer, and his name was Fred Freiberger.
Yes, I know him. Yes, he
You
was the
know-
guy known
you
for
know
killing
him?
Star Trek.
For Star Trek, exactly. So
He was the showrunner for season 3, and that was so he gets unjustly blamed for killing Star Trek. He didn't do it. He was doing everything he could to save Star Trek with the lower budgets that they were given, the smaller writing staff that they had. He did everything he could, and for all the crap that season 3 gets, they still had some good episodes in season 3, and that was because of Freiberger.
yeah,
Right. Wasn't it Spock's
the
brain?
episodes were really good. Some of these episodes were good. The main problem was that you had Gary and Sylvia Anderson. They both were married, and they wrote the first season. They were directors of the first season. Well, they had a divorce in real life, and so the show definitely reflected that in the second season. And you will see the young girl. You can barely see her in the picture behind Martin Landau. She was in the first season. She was just kind of like the Uhura character. She was just like a radio operator or something. I mean, she was just in it very, very small amounts. But probably, I think it was in 1999, actually. There was a video they reproduced with her. She actually did it, saying, "Hey, we found they did it for the show." And they produced it, put it on the webisode, whatever. You can find it on YouTube if you really look for it. But it's her talking, saying basically, the Commander Koenig, they found a planet that we can live on. We're leaving Moonbase Alpha, and we are going to be living there. If you ever get this message, here's where we're at. Come and find us. Kind of letting Earth know, hey, we're still out there, but come and find us. It was a nice touch to close the show out. It really
Found
was.
it.
Nice.
But it happened like 30 or 40 years after the last episode.
I found it. Okay, we can. Thank you.
Or if memory survives or even exists in your time of who we were, what our purpose was, and the disaster that took us on our random journey through the infinite reaches
She looks
of
much
space
older
and
there,
time.
doesn't she?
Yeah, but not bad
We
for
calculate it is
20
25
years
since we
later.
lost contact with you. For us, this has been a time of dangers overcome, knowledge revealed, of mysteries encountered, perceptions
I still
altered,
think it's fun,
and a
great that they
growing
got the
conviction of
original
a higher
outfits.
purpose in everything that we have witnessed.
Especially since it was in the late 90s. Like,
yeah.
DT, there's some banging that's happening.
I don't know what it is, man. I can't hear it.
I
can't hear anything.
Okay.
Can we base our actions on it occurring?
Let's see. Okay, so she does that. My point I wanted to say in 99, like this kind of stuff wasn't done very often. I think they did the Alf movie in 96.
Which was terrible.
I know it was terrible, but they kind of tried to do that. This is completely web-based, is what you're saying, Dave?
Yeah, originally it was a web-based.
This was before you could even really watch video on the internet. Like, that's forward thinking. That's incredible.
Yeah,
it is. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was good show. I mean, it's obviously dated, especially when you go back and watch like this first season, especially. It's if you listen to the opening, just the opening music, it's grooving 70s. I mean, it's grooving disco. I mean, big time. Oh,
Hey.
that made me another one.
There's an interesting. So you're saying that like Landau and whatnot were kind of tabbed for this because of their popularity from Mission Impossible.
From Mission Impossible, yeah.
So interesting Star Trek connection. Do you know who replaced Landau in Mission Impossible?
It was Michael Dorn, wasn't it?
Leonard Nimoy.
Nimoy. Well, did you know Michael Dorn was in? Michael Dorn was in Chips.
Yes, he was in Chips.
Oh yeah.
Chips.
He was in Chips.
I knew there was a show that he was in that I
Mission
grew up on.
Impossible also featured one of an earliest roles from Sam Elliott. So if that wants to blow your mind, you have Sam Elliott and Leonard Nimoy in the same TV show.
Wow.
Sans mustache too.
Oh, dude. In what Chips? You said?
Yeah,
No,
Chips.
Mission Impossible had Sam Elliott.
Oh, Michael Dorn was in Chips. Yeah.
Yes, Michael Dorn was in Chips.
Oh,
that was like his big claim to fame before he got on Star Trek. And Brent Spiner was famous for playing a hillbilly on Night Court.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. He was such a good role.
He reprised that role on the reboot series too.
Dave, please tell me you have this.
I do not have that particular one. I have. Let me get it for a second.
Yeah. I'll minimize this one. We'll nope.
No, but I actually have the original model.
Oh, there it is.
And I love my 3D printer. So
yeah.
I actually printed one.
Oh my goodness.
Excellent. That is
so yeah.
And there it is. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Nice job.
Oh, I love the show. The eagle is really what got me into science fiction. The first time I saw this thing flying, on this TV, I was like, that is so cool looking. And then, besides the original.
Right. And it doesn't look too futuristic. It looks
it didn't look too futuristic. It actually looked like I was like, okay, this could be something that really could happen because there's the big thrusters on the back, it looks like it's done by fuel and all that,
the landing gear. I'm a fan. I like it. I'll have to check it out just for fun and stuff. So you said you had one more.
Who, me?
No, Dave said he thought of something else real fast.
Yeah, I was looking for pictures of it, but I don't really see them. Okay, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century.
Okay.
It was another 70s show. First season was really good. It was Buck coming. He was basically thawing out, showing up on Earth and, helping to fight against the Draconians, yada, yada, yada. And then season 2, they just like, okay, we're going to get rid of half the staff. We're going to get rid of this. And then we're going to add Hawkman, and who had a ship that looked like a hawk. Again, and they're on the Starship Searcher, which looked like 2001, A Space Odyssey. It looked like the Discovery on that. So,
okay, I'm trying to look for some.
That was just one of those, when you were saying replacements, that they basically replaced, Dr. Hewer, they replaced Dr. Theopolis with Hawkman. And then, it just, again, it was another one of those where they wanted to change things up way too quickly. Dumbly.
Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. Is that Jack Palance? Is that Jack Palance?
It is Jack Palance.
That's Jack Palance, guys. Oh, this is the second episode of the first season.
Oh yeah.
Now, why didn't Curly show this, special stuff with his hands in City Slickers, huh? So, all right, that wasn't that funny. I'm sorry,
but yeah, no, the first season was decent, and then it just kind of they tried to replace way too much, way too quickly. And it's like, oh, let's go younger. Let's get this. Goodness. Let's do that. It almost reminds me of what's. Yeah, it's. I know the whole episode that you guys are doing here, we're doing here today, is all about replacements, and unfortunately, AI is replacing everything.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
I mean, I made a joke. I sent Mac a text this week of a completely AI song of Stargate SG-1 is all a bunch of hillbilly people.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can tell it's all done by AI, but it was
for now.
But the facial is really close to what they really look like on the TV. That's Hawkman on the screen there. That's the one that they replaced 2 doctors with him. Because it was more political in the first season, and then the second season was all about searching and finding this and that, and going back in time to show up at Earth again. It was really convoluted and just strange.
This episode is called "The Time of the Hawk." The first episode of the second season. So, oh God,
that looks cheesy.
It was bad. I do not recommend. I don't recommend. Although
no stars.
It is funny. I know we lost Chuck Norris recently, and
we did.
But man, I'm getting a kick out of all these AI things that they've made where Chuck goes into different movies and he's just kicking the lead character, whoever it is, and just doing a roundhouse kick on each one and just knocking them out. And it's just, I think it's hilarious, some of them. But
I saw one of them today, the first time. Yeah,
that's unfortunately, that is you're saying replacement. That's going to be our replacement right there. Is AI if we're not careful with it,
Well, all the Marvel actors at the beginning of the teens, mid-teens, and stuff when they were leading up to Endgame, Disney was like, okay, you're going to go into this scanning booth over here, and we're going to scan every inch of your body because we need insurance in case something, it's not gonna, but knock on wood, in case something happens to you, we need to be able to use your likeness to be able to finish out this thing just in case. And so every single Marvel actor who signed a new contract had to do this scanning situation, and I can guarantee you they do it as part of the regular signing process now as it stands.
I think RDJ had come out and said, like, once he's gone, like, his estate is going to block attempts to have him put in things.
You could, that can happen, but also the estate can be like, Tom Hanks is very lovable. Let's sell his likeness, to a few other movies under contract, and we can do that, and it can be done.
Yeah.
Tim Allen was talking about being a replacement. Yeah. Well, he was talking about how he was recording Toy Story 4, and he went in for recording one day, and he's like, it's like, Woody, look out, or to infinity and beyond. He's like, he went to the director and he goes, these are a lot of repetitive lines I've already recorded. Are you sure you need these? And he's like, well, we can replace you, but do you want to get paid? He's like, no, absolutely. Here we go. Woody, look out. It's like, but I mean, they could use all of his lines that are in archive and do that, and he would never have to go into the booth again.
Which is the question, which questions that makes you want to ask why, when they made Lightyear, the movie, they didn't do that with Tim Allen's voice.
It was political. It was a political thing.
I'm sure it was, because he's more conservative, and
it was a time in Pixar and Disney, they replaced John Lasseter, so they had new leadership, and it was a thing. That was a weird time. So, and they wanted to make a point, and the point they made bombed and lost $250 million. But so, yeah. Anyway, DT, you got one.
I have one more. And this may be considered controversial, but a replacement character, James T. Kirk.
I was thinking He replaced Pike.
He did.
Okay.
I don't think any controversy of it. He replaced Pike.
Almost the original replacement character.
Okay, I need to do. Oh, you're gonna make me jump through hoops here. It's okay. Hold on.
I'm not.
Menagerie. Just look up Menagerie. That'll be the easiest thing because
Yeah,
then you
that's
can
the
find
best
the original pilot stuff from it, which they ended up. Which I'm glad they did. I mean, they were smart about using that. They were like, "Well, we have all this footage. Let's go ahead and use it." You know.
Yeah, very creative. Like that. That's like that was never really done back then, right?
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Getting a second pilot certainly wasn't.
No, that was the other thing. My wife fell in love with Jeffrey Hunter. We were watching a movie of him in one of his westerns, and she's like, "Who is that fetching individual?" I'm like, "Oh, that's Captain Pike from Star Trek." She's like, "What?" Like, yeah, that was the first captain right there. So, but.
Well, the interesting thing is, I guess in the original Bible, it wasn't even that. It was Robert April, which never made it out of the production phase until.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, I'm opening up.
And then for what was it? The 2009? Yeah, Star Trek 09. And
with
Strange New Worlds, they both of them were trying to make sure that Pike was in there. You know, Strange New Worlds actually is I thought was decent at first, and then it just kind of just started plopping in every character from the original series, and it's like, wait a minute, why? This person wasn't. I mean, at least nothing that I could see. You know, the only one I understood was Spock was the only one from the original crew. That's why he's the only one that did anything during the Menagerie. If Uhura or, any of these other people were in there, Nurse Chapel, etc., whatever, why weren't they in the first one? In the original. But
and the Mbenga situation where he's the CMO already, and then eventually in the original
series he's not.
He's working
he was
for
in
Bones.
there, but McCoy was the chief medical officer.
So hold on a second. Refresh my memory about Mbenga in the original series. Was he in the original series, or was he just in the pilot?
No, he was in the original series. He was in like 2 episodes. He was a Vulcan specialist, like a specialist on Vulcan physiology.
That's right. Okay, yeah, thank you.
And he was portrayed as a younger doctor.
When he got that, he had that. Wasn't he in that one when Spock had the second? He has like an extra iris or something that went down when he was like, "Yeah, but I'm blind."
Yeah, it's like a shark. The Operation Annihilate.
Yeah. I'm terrible with names.
Now I gotta look that up.
But yeah, he was in there. And I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you're right. It was like 2 or 3 episodes that were like, McCoy was going down to he's like, "Hey, you're in charge while I'm gone," or something like that. I remember different things similar to that, but that Strange New Worlds. I mean, Uhura is the one that really just bugged me. I'm like, okay, why is she all of a sudden when she wasn't even in a lot of season 1, if I remember right? I mean, she was there, but not like one of the central 7 until a little bit later on.
Yeah. It bothers me that she was supposed to be there for a year, as like, because she was a cadet, is a cadet. I don't know. And then she just stayed. Like,
yeah.
I
like some of their characters. I mean, the whole thing with Nurse Chapel, though, I thought that was just, that's just wanting to get clicks, I think.
Well, there's 16 more episodes left, so there's that.
Well, this whole series has become, as the Spock turns, it's like he's dated a different woman each season.
Yeah, and he still is betrothed to not to Pring.
To Pring.
It is to Pring. Thank you. He's still betrothed to her. Like we still have the Mack time, like that's coming up. Is that the episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That we still have that happening. We have Pod Far happening. I don't know. We could BITC
go down that rabbit hole.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
Go down the rabbit hole.
I had my epic rant a couple episodes ago. It's all right. It's all right. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dave, because my uncouth ways and everything. So
I got a kick out of that episode. I really did.
Yeah.
Wait, which episode? Anything with Strange New Worlds?
No, the one when I went on.
It was mostly about Starfleet Academy. So
being canceled and stuff. So DT was very patient.
I just was worried that you'd stroke out on camera, and there wasn't anything I could do about it.
No, well, it would. That was a distinct pause. Anytime I turn on an episode of New Trek, I might stroke out. So it's just par for the course. So,
fair enough.
Well,
but yeah, Kirk was definitely the original big replacement actor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for sci-fi, definitely. Yeah.
You had a little bit more of an action-oriented captain, a little more suave, younger, a little more. Not saying that Pike wasn't, he was definitely a worn-out version of Pike that you see in that episode. And part of the point of the cage is how he kind of, it's in some ways, it's a dark version of how Chris Pike got his groove back in some ways.
Yeah.
But
that's an interesting take on that. Yeah.
Well, because he was in a different headspace, leaving, the planet as he was when he was arriving, blaming himself for stuff and considering hanging it up. So.
No, that's all true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Kirk, he's younger, he's cockier, no less intelligent and dedicated, but he's just kind of a space playboy a little and
a little
will punch you in your face.
Yeah. Or do jump on a tree and swing around and kick you with both soles of his boots. Square.
Gotta love the shat foo.
Shat foo.
Shat foo.
Yeah. So very good. Well, that's we're coming up on the end of the hour. Anything else? I mean, we're rife with other ones that we've totally missed. I know, but
I'm sure we could do a third episode if we put our minds to it.
Yeah.
All you need to do.
I didn't want to get too deep into different actors who played the same role.
No, that's going to be a separate. That's going to be a separate list.
I was going to say all the different Batman, actors. All the different Hulk. If you did something like that, that would definitely be quite a bit different. But just replacement on screen replacements. I think you guys have pretty much hit the big ones.
Yeah, unless we want to spend 20 minutes talking about the event. All the replacement chief engineers of the original of the Enterprise D and all the doctors of the original Enterprise before you even get to McCoy.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's only one Nurse Chapel. So apparently. All right then. Well, Dave, your show took a little bit of a hiatus. When can we expect you back?
Probably the end of this month. We're planning actually. That'll be our the way it worked out is that'll be the end of the month. Will be right at our finishing up our 4th year, so we'll be starting our 5th year.
Oh, congratulations!
Which is mind blowing to me, and of course, every year on our anniversary, we typically do a Star Wars movie. So we're gonna go ahead and do Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
we haven't done that yet. So. Yeah, we're going to do
always good
the discount Wookiees, Dollar Tree Wookiees
half off.
Wookiees half off. Yeah, that's good. But yeah, no, that's we took about a month and a half off. There was so much going on in all of our lives, so it was time to kind of throttle back on some things. And so, but everyone is really excited. We've all been texting back and forth, like, you guys ready? And they're like, yes, we're all ready. Let's go back to this. So,
all right.
So yeah, so you guys will be seeing something out here towards the end of this month.
Looking forward to it. Now, is it going to be the Return of the Jedi, or is it something different?
No, we're going to do Return of the Jedi.
It is going to be Return of the Jedi. Sorry.
For Return of These Sci-Fi Guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Return of These Sci-Fi Guys. We're going to do Return
of... dude, you got to do that. You got to put a title card. Do that.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent, my friend.
You can do it.
That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. So.
Well, very good. Okay. Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Here we are. And as always, you're more than welcome to jump in anytime. Obviously, you got a vast array of knowledge that is great to supplement ours. So it's always a delight and appreciate it. DT, yeah, whatever. I know we'll be back. So
be nice.
Yeah, if you've known
we've got a lot of things that we have coming up here. We've got some that we're watching.
Yeah. So we've done the prediction where we were like, next episode we're gonna do this, and then we don't do it. So I'm hesitant to say that.
Yeah, we used to do that, and then it was funny. Like, I think for a while there, I was like, hey, next episode we're gonna do this movie. And then something came up and we did a different movie, and then we did a different movie, then a different movie.
Yeah.
So it ended up being like 6 months later. We're finally getting to do this movie. So we at that point we were like, let's not say what we're going to do next anymore.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of new stuff coming out here soon. So we're going to,
I know I'm going to go see this. There's a new one with, oh gosh, what's his name? It's in the theaters right now.
Project Hail Mary.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes,
I want to go see that.
Yeah, we saw it.
I did want to go see it.
You'll thoroughly enjoy it. You'll thoroughly
enjoy
it.
Good.
You're going to get everything out of it that you've ever wanted.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it this weekend, as a matter of fact.
That's our next video, actually. Yeah. Dang.
That's your next one? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then I will make sure I watch the movie before I listen to y'all.
Yeah, I fully recommend it. So, yeah, we got a busy slate coming up, though. You're right. So it's going to be a busy summer, and that's what we're here for. Those sci-fi guys and these sci-fi guys. So
we got a couple of Star Trek movies. The guys wanted to do Generations, and I was like, okay, fine. I said, but you've got to see Best of Both Worlds to understand the whole Locutus thing, and they're like, what?
I think you're confusing that with First Contact.
First Contact. Sorry, we're doing First Contact.
Okay.
We're not Generations. We're doing First Contact. Thank you. And I was just like, but you've got to see this episode, these 2 episodes first to understand what's going on.
They saw Q-Who, right? Because they watched the first season.
That's season 2.
Oh, it is season 2. Dang, that's right.
But I think they could get away with not seeing what Q told them about that.
That's how I experienced it. I never saw Q-Who before I saw the Best of Both Worlds, and it was fine.
Yeah. But I mean, just because you to understand what Picard's thinking and the way he's acting and all that,
Yeah,
I think that's important to kind of get some of the premise. So like we're doing Tron Ares eventually, but we're like, you got to do Tron Legacy before that to understand what's going on in Ares. So kind of we're backtracking on some of this stuff. Just because we got John and Shane who have never seen a lot of this stuff. So it's like, okay, I'm having to pick and choose. Like, okay, you got to see this first before we see this, and then you got to do this before you see this.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, is this turning into homework now?
Yeah.
All right. If you want to watch this Star Trek movie, you need to watch these 300 episodes to get this movie.
That's kind of what it's turning like for Marvel. So.
Although, all right, I'll stop talking after this. Why did they not make a Deep Space Nine movie?
Would you have wanted one after they ended it that way?
I still need the Cisco to return.
I get it.
They need
we need the Cisco to return.
We do, and
not like what they were doing in Star
Academy.
Apparently,
I know,
No.
but
no.
Actually, is Avery Brooks still around? Is he still alive?
He is.
Alive.
He's
He's
just
retired,
kind of
though.
retired.
So
He could-
I
he
guarantee
could do
you,
something.
if you get him a good clip, a good script,
Picard season
he can come back.
4.
What?
Picard season 4.
Yeah.
And through with 7 of 9, and you bring in the DS9 characters, and they all go searching for Cisco.
I was hoping that the plot of Picard season 3 was that they had to go rescue Miles O'Brien from Sayla.
Oh my gosh. That would have been.
That would have worked too.
Yeah.
No,
They wouldn't have had to reuse the Borg again.
I was gonna say at least they would have had one season of Picard without the Borg in it. So,
But they did bring
And
back the changelings. So
yeah,
kudos.
yeah, in their own
Yep.
way, So,
All
well, speaking
right.
of comebacks, until the next time, you guys, we're those sci-fi guys. I'm P.S. McKay. Until the next time, you guys keep dreaming. We'll keep working. And on behalf of Dave, thank you very much for these sci-fi guys.
And I'm DT Cavman. Big thanks to Dave having you on here. Always happy to have you. And there's always room for you guys up here on the high ground.
It's a good listen.
Mack's got a pen that can warp the stars. DT's got stories from cavalry scars. One writes the worlds where the heroes fly, the other roll tanks under desert sky. From sandbox forts to the final frontier, 2 kids with dreams and a 6-pack of beer. Different roads, same old spark. Talking Trek till the streetlights spark. We're those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT Cameron lighting up the airwaves. Blasters of books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Mack spins a tale about a rogue AI. DT counters with man, I drove that guy. From doom to doom, we argue the stakes while the coffee gets cold and the pizza box breaks. Childhood pals in a grown-up fight for the best damn death scene on a Friday night. Pixels or pages, we're never done. 2 working stiffs chasing alien sun. We're in those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT Cameron lighting up the airwaves. Blasters and books, we're geek to the core. Laughing through the lore on those sci-fi guys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, yeah. No capes, no powers, just regular days, but we'll save the galaxy in our own ways. Mack's drafting novels in the dead of night. DT's got tank tracks, turns them into light. Together we're louder than a hyperdrive scream. Two regular dudes living the sci-fi dream. Yeah, we're with those sci-fi guys riding warp speed waves. Mack and DT Cabin lighting up the airwaves. From the sandbox to the stars, we'll never say die. Tune in, geek out, those sci-fi guys.
Blade Runners or replicants? Bring the Bourbon Rider boys, gonna get real.